Alright, so welcome to the day 3 of the training. Okay, so yesterday what I did was I taught you basics of Selenium and taught you basic drivers, basically, that what are the different types of drivers which are there in Selenium. Okay, now the question arises is that will you have to learn every driver separately? This is the question which arises because you are creating that object of every driver separately over here. Firefox driver, Chrome driver, and iDriver, Edge driver. You are creating different objects. Okay, so the question arises, suppose if there is a link, I want to click on that link. Will the code be different for Internet Explorer? Because iExplorer has got its own set of non-static functions over here. Okay, Chrome has got its own set of non-static functions, right? So if there is a link and I want to click on that link, so will there be a different code for different browsers? Okay, so that is the question. Fine. Well, the answer to that is obviously no, you don't have to write different code for different browsers. And the answer for that comes from the concept of interfaces in Java. Okay, fine. For example, I'll tell you, there's a concept of constructors as well. I will cover that. Okay, just be with me. In next day or something, I will cover that because if I cover that right now, it won't get to you that properly. Okay, I'll cover that. Just be with me. So over here, I'll create a new project today known as day 3. Okay, and in this project, I'm going to add the jar files. Okay, I will add the jar files of Selenium, right? And basically, what we will be doing is that, alright, we will be studying interfaces today. Interfaces, what do you mean by interfaces? I'll create a new interface over here. Okay, and I will call it a simple interface like say animal. Okay, look, the thing is, what is an interface? It's written public interface animal. Interface is like something which gives you an idea about the system. For example, a website. Okay, you take example of any website. Alright, you go to our website, for example, qtpselenium.com. Okay, you go over here and just hold on, it's taking time. Or you go to any other website. Okay, the website welcome page is like an interface for you. Okay, this page is like an interface for you which tells you what this website is all about. Okay, fine. Now you really don't know how this content is coming up on this website, but the interface of this website tells you that what it is about. It gives you the idea about the website. Okay, right. Similarly, for example, when you buy a book from a bookstore, you look at the cover face of the book. The cover face of the book is like the interface. It tells you what the book is all about. So similarly, interface is there in Java also. Okay, and in interface you declare the methods. Okay, you just write over here, for example, public void eat. You will not give the method body, you will just define your methods over here, that public void sorry sleep. Okay, public void uh, run. Okay, fine. So these are few functions of animal, alright, which are there for all the animals. Just by looking at this interface, you can come to know that how the interfaces they behave or how the system behaves. Alright, fine. Now, what is the use of interfaces? How do we use them? I'll tell you. Okay, for example, if I create a new class known as, say, dog. Okay, now dog is an animal, right? So what we do is that we in Java, we write over here dog implement the animal class. Okay, if a class is implementing an interface, okay, this dog class is implementing the animal interface, right? You move the mouse over this error, you have this, you'll get this error, right? If a class is implementing an interface, it becomes mandatory for the class to implement all the functions of the interface. That is why error is coming. If you move the mouse over the error, it will say add unimplemented methods. You click on that, all the three functions eat, sleep and run will come with the bodies. So you have to implement all the three functions of an interface if you are implementing that interface. If a class is implementing an interface, it will be mandatory for it to implement all the functions. Okay, even if I remove one of the functions out here, if I remove this function, you will get an error. So it's mandatory for you to implement all the functions of the interface. Okay, right, fine. Now, what is this @ override? This is known as an annotation. It's not mandatory to put this. Basically, it tells you that this function is coming out from this interface. Okay, this eat function is coming from this interface animal. You can remove the annotation if you want. It's not mandatory. Okay, but it is there just for a layman. If he looks at your code, he will come to know that fine, this function override, this function sleep is coming from the animal class. Okay, right. So there is an interface and there can be a class implementing the interface. Now, what advantage do you get by implementing an interface? Okay, what is the added advantage which you get when you implement the interface? I will come over to that later on, not right now. I'll tell you. Okay, suppose I have another class known as, say, sparrow, which is a bird. Okay, it will also implement the interface. Okay, move the mouse and add unimplemented functions. Right, eat, sleep, run, and you can simply write over here okay. So these are the three functions, eat, sleep and run, and @ override functions, and sparrow eating, sleeping, running and everything. Okay. Now I make a new class over here known as test.java. So you have got two classes, Sparrow and Dog, which are implementing the animal interface. Okay. Now what advantage did I get out of this system? Okay. I'll explain you with the help of a diagram. What you did was, hold on, you made one interface and there were two classes implementing that interface. Okay, right. Animal was an interface and dog and sparrow. Now, why did I do this? I could have never made the animal class. I could have interface. I could have directly made the classes. Okay, right. The advantage which we get is that whatever functions will be there in the animal interface will be there in both the classes. If tomorrow a new class comes up, a new animal class, for example, like cat, then we will know what three functions do we have to add in the cat class. Cat class will also implement the same interface. So no matter what, how many animals are there, all the animal classes will have the same set of three functions. If a layman, he looks at your code, he will just have to look at the interface animal and he will come to know that fine, these are the three functions. All the animal classes will be having these three functions for sure. The implementation, however, might be different in every class. Okay, for example, if I write over here, if I create the object of dog, okay, I can write d.eat function and sparrow, and I can write sparrow.eat. The function name is same in both the classes, but sparrow will implement it in its own way and dog will implement in its own way. So when you run this, you see that dog eating and sparrow eating. Okay, right? So in Selenium also, in Selenium, if you go to the official website of Selenium, seleniumhq.org, and if you go to the download section, in the Java docs, whatever is there in italics is an interface. Okay, right? For example, mouse. Mouse is an interface. These are the two classes implementing the mouse interface. They will tell you the implementing classes. These are the functions in the mouse interface. Okay, right. Can we overload functions and classes? Yeah, you can do that. It's up to you, son. Okay. But in Selenium, I'll tell you about Selenium. In Selenium, you don't have to make any interfaces or something. Everything is inbuilt. All the commands are inbuilt. Yesterday I taught you Selenium basics. I never did something like, I never invented something. Everything is inbuilt. Firefox driver is inbuilt, Chrome driver is inbuilt. You just have to learn the inbuilt features. To learn the inbuilt features, you need to know object-oriented programming. Okay, right. So yeah, at times if you turn off the automatic updates in Firefox, it still upgrades. You can reinstall it and downgrade it. Okay, sometimes it happens. Right. Now out here, if you scroll down, then WebDriver is written. WebDriver is an interface. Interface WebDriver. So in interview they might ask you what is WebDriver. Technically, WebDriver is an interface. And all the driver classes, they implement the interface. Chrome driver, iDriver, Edge, Safari, Opera, Remote driver. Every driver class will implement the interface. So since every driver class is implementing the interface, okay, every driver class will have same set of functions. Okay, in the WebDriver interface, if you scroll down, you will have the functions. Close, find element, get current URL, get page source. All these are the functions in the WebDriver interface. Okay, so whatever are the functions in the WebDriver interface, the same set of functions you will also have in the implementing classes. So if you have to click on a link in Chrome or Firefox, you don't have to worry, the command or the function call would be the same. Okay, right, I will tell you. Yesterday we had created 3 objects. To go to a website like yahoo.com, I was using the same function get in all the 3 objects. This is because the implementation is same, right? Implementation is from the same WebDriver interface. Okay, right. For suppose I have to make a script. Suppose now I have to make a script like launch browser in which I have to dynamically launch and execute script. What do you mean by dynamically launching and executing the script? Look, if I have a variable, I'll take this like this, string say browser equals to Mozilla. So later on, I can change this value to Chrome or I or Edge, whatever is the value of this variable. Okay, the script over here should execute on that browser. Generally, we will read this parameter from the properties file or the Excel file later on. Right now, I'm just putting it. Okay. So if I keep a condition like this over here, that if browser is equal to Mozilla, then you can create object of Firefox driver. I am not setting the exe path because I've set all the exes in the system property as I told you in the yesterday's video. Okay, right. You create the object of Firefox driver. Okay, else if the browser is equal to Chrome, you create the object of Chrome driver. Okay, else if the browser is equal to I, set the object of Internet Explorer driver. Okay, right. And now suppose you have to go to a website and click on a link or something. So you can write over here Firefox driver dot get to that website, say http yahoo.com, and if you want to click on the link, you can write the code over here to click on link. Okay. Similarly, for Chrome, and for I. Now, or for edge also you can write the same code in else block. Now, does this make sense? Does this script make sense? What do you say? Should I write a separate script for Mozilla, for Chrome, for I? It really doesn't make sense. Although the function names are same, but the problem over here is for Firefox driver I have to use the Firefox driver object, for Chrome driver I have to use the Chrome driver, and for I driver I object. So this is the problem. The function name is same. If I have 100 lines of script, will I write 100 lines separately for Firefox, 100 lines separately for Chrome, and 100 lines separately for I? It really doesn't make sense. Interfaces, they tell you that fine, the function names will be the same. Whatever name is in the animal class, what the same functions will be there in the sparrow and dog class. That same thing happens in Selenium as well. The function names in all the driver classes are same, but still we don't get the solution to the problem. Okay. All right. Now, for the solution to this problem, I'll tell you a concept. Again, the solution to this problem comes over from the concept of interfaces. Right. Now we have this test.java where we are creating the object of dog and sparrow. With dog, you can access the functions eat, run, sleep, and with sparrow, you can access the functions eat, run, and sleep. If you run this code, see it prints dog eating, running, sleeping, sparrow eating, running, sleeping. Okay, right. If you run this code, you get these three, this kind of an output. Okay, all right. Now, give a demarcating line or something. Now, suppose in my sparrow class, I make a function known as public void fly. Now, this fly function is proprietary to sparrow class. It is not from interface. Fly is a function which only sparrow can do. Not every animal will do the fly function. So inside it you can write over here sparrow fly. Over here in my test.java with the sparrow class you can also use the fly function. Pretty simple, not a very difficult thing to understand till now. But listen to this carefully, whatever I am trying to tell you now. People, they get confused at this moment. After this moment, they get confused. Till now, I have been creating the object of the class like this. The reference of the class equals to the object of the class. Now, I am going to create the object differently. I will write animal d1 equals to new dog or new sparrow. I can have the animal reference d1 pointing to the sparrow object. The interface reference pointing to the class, pointing to the object of the class, which is implementing the interface. Sparrow is implementing the animal interface, right? So the reference pointing towards the class, which is implementing the interface. Okay, right. So reference of an interface. Okay, pointing towards the object of class implementing interface. I can write sparrow or I can also write dog. I can keep anything. Alright, what is the advantage of this? I'll tell you. With D1, you can call the functions eat, run, sleep, but you cannot call the proprietary functions like fly over here. If you create the object like this, if you are creating the object of a class like this, you cannot call the proprietary functions. Okay? You can call the functions which are coming from the interface into the class, not the proprietary function of those class, of that class. But what is the advantage of this then? Okay, if I run this, it will print sparrow eating, running, sleeping, but it cannot use the fly function. What is the advantage? The advantage is that maybe on the next line, I would want D1 to point towards the dog object. Same reference now points towards the dog object. If I give these three commands again, d1.eat, run, sleep, okay, and if I run this code, see it prints dog eating, running, and over here it is printing sparrow eating, running, and sleeping. Over here it will print dog eating, running, and sleeping. Okay, so this is the difference. Alright, the difference lies in the fact between this thing and this thing is that with the same reference, it's up to me. I can make D1 point towards sparrow. I can make D1 point towards dog. Maybe we can write like this. We can write animal A equals to null. Null means that A is not pointing anywhere. It's not pointing anywhere. It's not pointing to any object. Based on my choice, I can make A point towards the object of sparrow class, or I can make A point towards object of dog class. It's completely my choice. If A is pointing towards sparrow class, it will call the functions of sparrow. If I write A dot eat and similarly A dot eat over here, and if I run this code, see sparrow eating and then dog eating. A can dynamically point towards any class which is implementing this interface. Similar thing happens in Selenium. You have got Firefox driver. Okay, you create the object of Firefox driver. You call the function on Firefox driver like get. Okay, I'll not keep the website URL, I'm just telling you right now. Similarly, you have the Chrome driver. You create the object of Chrome driver. Look, control space bar, it helps a lot. Please use control space bar. If I write enter, I told you yesterday as well. Internet Explorer. Hold on. Internet Explorer driver. Okay. You don't have to write the full spelling. You can write halfway. Hit control space bar. You will get all the classes. They will keep on filtering when you write the code. Okay. Type new and then again hit control space bar. Okay, you will get the Internet Explorer driver object. There is a question being asked. Yes, the question is that if D1 is now pointing towards Sparrow, and again if I point D1 to dog, yes, it will be removed from Sparrow and it will be going to dog object. What happens is that, suppose this was the Sparrow object. Okay, D1 was pointing towards Sparrow object. Now when we create the dog object, okay, D1, it gets removed from here and it now points towards the dog object. Okay, you can make D1 point towards any class which is implementing the interface. If tomorrow new class comes up, okay, cat, D1 will point, can be pointed to that class as well. In Selenium, you have got drivers. All the driver classes, they are implementing the WebDriver interface. So instead of creating the objects separately, you can also create the object like this: WebDriver driver equals to new Firefox driver. Based on your choice, you can point towards Firefox driver, you can point towards Chrome driver, you can point this towards Internet Explorer driver. It's your choice because WebDriver is an interface and the driver classes over here is the class which is implementing the interface. So dynamically you can point driver to any class. You can say that in the beginning WebDriver driver is null. Based on your choice, you can point driver to new Firefox driver or Internet Explorer driver, or it's completely your choice. If I write over here driver.get to http yahoo.com, it will take I to Yahoo. If I write over here get to yahoo.com, it will take Firefox to Yahoo. And the same command, if I write over here, it will take Chrome to Yahoo because it changes the positioning. Let me run this code and show it to you. I'll comment out these three lines. Multiple lines can be commented out like this: slash star and star slash. Okay. When I run this code, you will see that first I will launch and it will be taken to Yahoo. Okay. And then hold on. See, Mozilla launches, it's been taken to Yahoo. Okay. Right. And after that, Chrome will launch and Chrome will be taken to Yahoo. So you can, I did not do anything, only with one reference, I am managing three browsers. Okay, you see that Chrome opens and it's been taken to Yahoo. Similarly, I could write for Edge as well. Okay, right. All these are not errors, these are logs. I will come over to these logs later on. Okay, this is not error. So coming back to our problem of launch browser, where I told that will I write a separate script for every browser? The answer to that is no. You don't have to write a separate script for every browser. Yes, you can parameterize script. I will come over to parameterization later on, not right now. I will come over to that. Okay. We can declare over here WebDriver driver equals to null. Based on my choice, okay, I can make driver point towards new Firefox driver, or I can make driver point towards new Chrome driver, or I can make driver point towards iDrive. It's up to me. Okay, right. Alright, if I run this code now, and in the end, hold on. In the end, you can write out here driver.get, go to the website http yahoo. You can write your regular Selenium code after this. After going to yahoo.com, you have to print the title of this page. You can print driver.get title. So if I run this code, this will run in Mozilla and go to Yahoo and print the title. This part is only for initialization. I'll answer your question just 1 minute. Okay. This will launch. I think it's already launched. Yes. It's going to Yahoo. Okay. And it's printed the title of Yahoo. Similarly, if I change this browser to Chrome now, this script will only work on Chrome. Okay. So you can dynamically write a script which will work on multiple browsers with the help of interfaces in Java. I don't want to teach you Java completely and then come over to Selenium. Okay, I just want to take the concepts parallelly, that how they are used in Selenium, because everything is inbuilt in Selenium. Okay, everything is inbuilt in Selenium. Right. Now, later on we will read this browser value from an external file, maybe a properties file or exe file, text file, XML file, and script. You just have to change that file and script executes in that particular way. Okay. Yes, the question being asked is that will this driver work for one browser at a time? Yes, for one browser at a time. I'm not going into parallel execution right now. Okay, it will confuse you guys. There are few things which I want to talk about. Firstly, you can include this Java doc into Eclipse. You don't have to go to the Selenium website again and again. You can refer it from Eclipse. You click on this Java doc link and you copy this URL which comes up by default. Okay, go to Eclipse, go to the properties of your project. Alright, in Eclipse, go to the properties. Go to Java build path and libraries where you have added all the jar files. Basically, go to the location where you see the jar files in Eclipse. This is the client command. This is the main jar file of Selenium. Okay, which is outside the lib folder. Expand this. Alright, and go to the Java doc location and edit it. Paste this path and remove index.html from the end. Please remove index.html. Click on validate and we'll get location is likely valid, then it's fine. Click on OK, OK and OK. And now if you run this program, now, it will run normally. Okay, but there will be no difference in the execution. Only thing is, if you move your mouse, say if I move my mouse over WebDriver, I will get the description, the main interface for the testing, which is an idealized web browser. Okay, if I write driver dot, I get many functions. You just put a control space bar after this dot, you hit control space bar, you get many functions. You click on the function and you will get the description of that particular function, what it does. So you don't have to go to Java docs again and again. If you click on any link over here, for example, this is a link. I click on this link. Java docs will open inside Eclipse. Okay. You switch to the frames view where you get the description for all the classes in a frame manner. Alright. So this was just for your information. You don't have to actually refer Java docs from Selenium website. You can include them in Eclipse. It's very easy. Alright. And in Java, you can debug your programs as well. What do you mean by debugging? That is executing line by line. It is possible. At times, you are stuck that why this stuff is not working, what is happening. So you have to execute the program line by line. So that is debugging. For debugging, the first thing is you can put a breakpoint. For example, on line number 12 over here, I will double click on in front of this line. When I double click, I will get a dot. This dot is known as a breakpoint. And I will run this code not in the normal run button. I will run this code with this debug icon on the top. Okay, click on this icon and you will get a message that you want to switch to debug perspective and all. Click on yes and your browser and your Eclipse will look like this. And the script will stop on this line. If I hit F6 of the keyboard, F6, it will execute this line. And you will see the variable on the top, browser, whose value is equal to Chrome. Okay, I'll hit F6 again, then driver, whose value is null right now. Driver is not pointing to anyone. I'll hit F6 again. So it doesn't go inside this if statement, it goes inside this one. Okay, keep on hitting F6 and it will execute the script. Alright, out here you will get all the variable values in real time. Now driver is pointing towards Chrome driver. Okay, the Chrome browser has launched, it is blank. It's not gone to the website. It will go later on. Okay, I'll hit F6 again. And I'll hit F6 again. So this Chrome will be taken to Yahoo website. Okay, fine. And once this website is loaded, see the get function takes time. Get function is not executed as of now. The control has not come to the next line. The get function waits for the complete page to load. Only when the complete page is loaded, okay, the get function will end the execution. Alright, now the complete page has loaded. The control has come over to the next line. The next line is in green. Okay, so get function will go to that website and it will also wait till that time that website is 100% loaded. Okay, fine. So sometimes you don't want that. There are workarounds for that, I'll tell you. Alright, now if I write driver.get title, hit F6, it will print in the output. This is console, it's printing Yahoo. Okay, so this is how it works. You just have to hit F6 of the keyboard. Sometimes when you are debugging, if I debug it, the script stops in the next on this line. I hit F6 and suppose after this line I don't want to debug, I want the program to run in a normal fashion. I'm sorry for the background noise. I want the program to run in the normal fashion. Okay, so you hit F8 of the keyboard. If you hit F8, the program will run normally. Alright, so this is the thing, it will go to yahoo.com. I'll close this. So F6 is line by line. And F8 is run normally. You can put multiple breakpoints. I have put a breakpoint on this line. I can put a breakpoint on line number 24 as well. Okay. When I run it debug mode, the control stops on this line. If I hit F8, it will run normally and stop on the next particular breakpoint. See that it stops over here. So sometimes you put multiple breakpoints as well to check the status of the variables and all at that point of time. We'll see that. We'll see this in depth. But this will help you out. Debugging is very important if you are a new learner. It will help you. Okay. So this was the class discussing interfaces, debugging, documentation and all everything. So when we meet tomorrow, we will discuss further on object identification as well. Okay. So the trial classes, they are over. In case you want to enroll, you can come on the live chat of the website. Okay.